You are tuning in to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Thanks for checking out the podcast and YouTube channel on Conroe Culture. Don't forget, we're live on Lone Star Community Radio every Monday at noon. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. Want more information? Visit the show page on irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture for past shows and learn how to sponsor the show.
Welcome to Conroe Culture on Lone Star Community Radio from downtown Conroe. We are recording this live today as we do every Monday at noon till 1. And I'm your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. And we're hoping to give you some updates on things that are going on around Conroe, Montgomery County, and things to keep in mind for the rest of your week as you look towards the weekend. Of course, this is Memorial Weekend coming up, which launches our summertime. And we start with high school graduations this week, and the beginning of next week is some more high school graduations. So we have information today. I have two guests on the show, and possibly three, but we are going to start out with Dawson, I'm going to say his name wrong, Schnauts, who is the first guest, and he will be from Conroe Tiger Football Booster Club. He's the president of the club. And then we're going to follow up with Clyde Turanian from Eastco Air Conditioning and Heating, who's going to talk to us about getting your air conditioner ready, because, you know, regretfully, I got to tell you, it's going to be humid, and it's going to start getting hot, and if your air conditioner is not ready to go, that could be problematic for you. So first, let's give you some news updates. Like I mentioned, high school graduation starts this week. Really? Yes. Time has flown by. So the class of 2017 is getting ready with their cap and gown. Hawk High School and Caney Creek will host their graduation ceremonies on March 27th. And of course, that's just at the end of the week here. After Memorial Weekend, Oak Ridge will have theirs on May 30th, and Conroe High School will follow up on the 31st. June 1st is the Woodlands College Park. And from what I understand with Conroe ISD, that is also the last day of school, June 1st. So is that a good thing? Is that a thumbs up, thumbs down? Not sure. You know, as a parent, I used to kind of look forward to that and then really look forward till the mid-August when they went back to school. So there are summer school signups that are available with Conroe ISD, and the session starts June 7th, 1 week after school gets out. So you can find out more about that by going on their website, cisd.org. And it's a great way to keep students motivated, increase their skills for STAR testing, reading, science, math, all those things. And of course, then we'll get ready with some athletic training will be going on, and football season, gearing up for that, which is timely because we're going to talk about the Conroe ISD Football Booster Club. So keep that in mind as we follow up with that. West Side Story ends this coming weekend at the Owen Theater. Don't miss this fun production of a different kind of romance, New York style. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang premiered this last weekend, Friday, and that's going to have several more shows through the weekend at the Crichton Theater. Tonight, you can listen to Jeremy Bankhead host the open mic, as he does every Monday at the Corner Pub, starting at 9. Charles Peters will be on the Red Brick Tavern stage at 7:30. March 25th, catch downtown Conroe's owner of the Red Brick Tavern, Debbie Glenn. She will be performing on stage with Buck Yeager and Mac Abernathy starting at 8 p.m. So that's Debbie Glenn at the Red Brick Tavern. Also, Geeks Who Drink, Trivia and Taco Night will be at Southern Star Brewery this coming up the same day, May 25th, starting at 9 p.m. May 26th, Greg Schroeder will be at the Red Brick, and Morgan Ashley will be live at the Corner Pub. Before you see these performers, check out the Conroe Art Experience right next door to the studio here at Conroe Coffee with your host, Leo Owen, and see the works of Shane Rodarte, a local artist. all in downtown Conroe. There's a lot going on in downtown Conroe. Speaking of that, next week is also the First Thursday Farmers Market and the First Thursday Concert Series at Heritage Park, only 2 blocks away. And the fun starts from 4 o'clock on till after 9:30 when the concert ends. So also at Southern Star, May 28th, which is this Sunday, the Farmers and Artisans Market with dog adoptions from noon to 4. So that's all we have about events going on right now. And yes, it's still raining heavily. So this isn't a good day to go walk your dogs or anything like that. But hopefully it'll let up after a little while. But we're going to go ahead and go forward with our first guest. So welcome, Dawson.
Thank you, Margie.
So I understand that you guys have a fundraiser coming up.
We do.
And what is it called?
It's the Conroe Tigers Classic. It's our biggest fundraiser for the Booster Club. It's a golf tournament, golf scramble. A lot of fun. Past years, we've had a lot of great participation, and we hope to continue to grow that.
So how long have you been involved with the Booster Club?
I've had two kids come through the program. My oldest is now a junior at Texas A&M. So I've been part of the Booster Club for 5 years. I've been the president of the Booster Club for the last 3 years.
Wow. So tell me about this golf tournament. Where do the proceeds go?
Right. So first off, Conroe Football Booster Club, what we do is all of the proceeds, every dime that we raise in any fundraisers go back to the kids. What we do for the football players, and it's football players from all the programs, from freshmen all the way up through the varsity level programs. And most of it is centered around the varsity, but again, like I said, we try to take care of and do special things for all of the programs. Junior highs, they get that opportunity to look forward to coming into the freshman, junior varsity and varsity programs. But what we do is we feed the kids every Friday before games. We make sure that they have a good meal.
That's very important.
And particularly in this community, sometimes some of the kids here, that might be the only meal that they've gotten that day.
Absolutely.
And so we really try to do that. We provide a lot of different proteins and a lot of different things throughout the off season for the kids as they're weightlifting. We provide buses to the out of town games, the chartered buses. We try to do things to help the kids be more stable, but B, to give them something to look forward to as well.
Well, that's a big benefit, especially if you're helping to pay for transportation and feeding them. That's a huge cost.
That is. We have, and then every now and then, well, actually, every year that I've been part of this, we also ask the coaches for if there's any things that they would want that could help benefit the kids. We have helped buy video equipment that helps them to video and then be able to teach and coach from that.
Sure.
We've helped buy jerseys, and this year we have kind of a special, and I don't want to talk too much about it because the coach wants to, hopefully, if we can get this done, but just let me just tell you that one of the games this next year, the kids may have some special helmets that they come out on the field. So right.
So about how many students are on a team? How many people does this generally benefit?
Right. The varsity level has around 70 kids, 60 to 70 kids. And then the junior varsity levels, they have in the neighborhood of about 100 or so kids, and then the freshmen as well as around 100 kids. So
wow.
So all total around 260 total kids in the Conroe community we try to support.
That's great. And there are how many high schools that this benefits?
Yeah, this is just
like
for Conroe High School.
Oh, this is Conroe High School. Right, not CISD.
Right. All of CISD, they
have their own.
CISD has 5 or so high schools, and each of those high schools have their own booster clubs. That's correct.
Okay. So this is probably just one activity that you guys do. Do you have other activities you do as fundraisers?
This is our main one. That's why we're putting a big emphasis on this. We do an auction when we meet the Tiger football team. We'll do an auction at that point. Throughout the year and at football games, we do sell merchandise that goes toward our funds to be able to do things for the kids. But this is our
This
biggest.
is your major one.
Major,
so you really need the community to help you raise these funds to benefit the kids.
There's two reasons why this is so important to us. A, yes, we need the community to come out and buy a team, come out and play with us. It's going to be a great time. We'll talk a little bit more about that. If you can't come out and play, then certainly whole sponsorships, things like that, help go toward the revenue that we can make toward that. But really, what we want is we want these kids to see the community come out and support them. I mean, in the past, we've had the first year that we brought the golf tournament back, we had about 15 teams. The next year we had 18. It's really my goal to try to have 25 teams. If we could have 25 teams, that'd be 100 golfers. That'd be a great
That's
event.
not too high of a goal. I think that's very achievable. So if anybody's listening, they can certainly get involved. And I know you have a Facebook page for the Conroe Tigers Football Club.
That's correct.
And you also have an event set up under that page.
That's correct.
For the golf tournament too. So those are great ways. I mean, they can sponsor a hole. They can play, of course, and have fun.
See, and that's what we really want. We have a great time out at the Scramble. The coaches will be out there. Even the head coach, Coach Robert Walker, will be on one of the holes where you can purchase his shot. And if you do purchase his shot, then you'll be laying zero where he hits. But you get a chance to interact with the head coach. But then afterwards, we'll have a catfish dinner for everyone. It's all included, so it'll be a great, fun outing. It has been for the last couple of years. We just need more people.
Well, I think you're going to be able to get more people. So this is going to be played at Panorama Golf Club.
That's correct. On June the 5th, it's at Panorama Golf Village. They have a great facility for not only the golf, but then for our dinner and activities afterward. We will have the Tiger Head set up out there. We'll have some putting contests, and we'll even have some of the football players out there early to kind of greet some of the folks. So we're excited about that. Registration will begin at 10 a.m. and a shotgun start at 11, and then catfish dinner to follow.
Sounds great. And it's $125 per person or $450 per team.
That's correct.
To play, and it's golf scramble fundraiser, and the entry form. I know that. You can go to Conroe Football Boosters 1@gmail.com if you need that emailed to you.
Correct.
And again, you could go on. Is this also posted on the Conroe High School page anywhere?
I think it's just on our Facebook and
just on the Facebook page. Okay. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, and I hope that this encourages people to come out there and play. There's different sponsorships available, of course, and all different levels. But the best thing would be to just get out there and help you get more
activity
people
and
playing.
And excitement in the community. That's what we want. We want Conroe High School to be strong, a strong high school for people that want to come to the community and stay in the community. We don't want our kids moving out back to Oak Ridge or to Woodlands or to other places. We want them staying here in Conroe.
Absolutely.
And so we're trying to, and I think that if the community would look at that and look at ways to help support that, to where we can have a good, strong high school, comes with a good, strong athletic program. That's what we're really trying to help support and drive here.
Well, I hope that people are listening and can help you out. Again, to go to the Facebook page, and it is Conroe Tigers Football Booster. Conroe Tigers Football is the Facebook page, and the email again for golf registration is conroefootballboosters1@gmail.com.
Correct.
And you do have a website, conroetigersfootball.com as well.
That's correct.
So, and if you need more information, you could go to the Conroe Culture, apparently I'm tongue-tied today, Conroe Culture Facebook page, and we will also have this information posted there.
And in one last place is, of course, the Conroe High School Athletic Department. The High School Athletic Department, Jody Lawhon is the athletic secretary. She also has information on this event as well as any other ways to become a partner with the Conroe Football Booster Club.
Fabulous. Thank you, Dawson. I appreciate your information and your time coming out here and sharing this. And I know you're going to make 20 teams. So
I appreciate you allowing us to come on and do this. So
okay,
keep our fingers crossed.
You have a good afternoon and stay dry.
All right.
We'll be right back. This is Margie Taylor with Conroe Culture Radio News from downtown Conroe.
Don't forget, Conroe Culture is live online at irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 every Monday at 12 p.m. Be a guest, be a sponsor. Just contact us online at irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Hello, we are back on Conroe Culture Radio from downtown Conroe at Lone Star Community Radio on your FM dial 104.5, 106.1, and we just heard from Dawson with the Conroe Football Boosters Club, encouraging you to get involved in their upcoming tournament that will benefit the football team and help them with transportation and the meal before the football games and various other programs. My next guest today on the show is Clyde Turanian with Eastco Air Conditioning and Heating, and he is going to provide us some tips because we talked about how it's Memorial Day weekend coming up, which you better have your air conditioner ready to go, tuned up, because regrettably, you know what happens when summertime comes. The humidity increases and you want to be comfortable and cool. Forget about the heater right now. We don't need the heater, not for quite a while. I don't know when. We'll see. But pretty much you got to have that air conditioning going. So, hey, Clyde, welcome to the show.
Well, hey, Margie, thank you. And you're right. This is the last of the cool days today.
Is it cool today?
Yep, cool.
I guess it's cool.
Rainy, good weather for ducks.
I guess so. So, how busy are you right now?
We are busy with commercial work and humidity concerns in the homes of our customers and new clients. Those that have wrestled with comfort in their homes, they're calling us and saying, what can we do about the humidity? And it's not the heat, it's the humidity that we're solving right now.
So you are the local expert on the air conditioning. So tell me, first of all, how long have you been in business?
I founded the company 33 plus years ago.
Wow, 33 years. That's a long time.
And that doesn't show up on the internet. When people look at advertising and they think that a company, because they have a strong website, has been around a long time, not necessarily, but we have been.
Well, you are a great contributor to the community. I know you're involved in three chambers, which is very important. But I asked you to come on because I do regard you as the expert of how to keep cool. So what are some things that are very manageable, maintenance things that people need to keep in mind?
Great question. One is the thermostat. Thermostat is the brains that's for the system on the wall. And when we look at a thermostat, we have to understand it can be more than just the switch that turns the system on and off. It can now have dehumidification control. It can now be Wi-Fi control from across the room or across the globe. We can control our systems in our home. It can have zoning. So there's a lot to it than there was just a few short years ago.
So tell me about controlling the humidity. How do you do that?
Well, when you match the correct control with the correct equipment, you're able to achieve greater dehumidification. Now, we've always designed systems that dehumidify, remove the latent heat, the humidity that we can't see, but we feel. And so with that cool, crisp air, you could even be more comfortable at a higher temperature if the humidity is removed properly. That's
Correct.
What we pride ourselves with.
Well, that's like if you were in the desert, it doesn't seem so bad because you have the dry heat, or in Colorado where it's a little drier. But of course, we don't have the dry heat here. We generally have the humidity heat, right?
That's right.
Which makes it unbearable at times.
The grains of moisture in the air. And our comfort systems today, because they're seeking higher efficiencies, do not always dehumidify as well. So they need to be sized properly and engineered, and that's what we do very well.
So what are some things that people need to do to get their air conditioner ready? What do you recommend?
Well, top of mind awareness would be in the area of filtration, because as we have an indoor atmosphere or climate in the home, we are circulating whatever's in that house. If mom's cooking spaghetti, we can smell spaghetti throughout the house because of the central air conditioning unit. But if there's adverse conditions, those too can be circulated through the house. So what we want to do is make sure that we're filtering the air properly on a regular basis and with a good product. not just necessarily a store-bought filter that we think is good that may be harming the system because of pressure drop.
So filters are key.
Key.
And how often should filters be changed?
That's a loaded question.
Oh, is it? Okay, it wasn't meant to be.
Well, let me help you with that. If you look at an extended surface filter, some of those on the side will say replace every 2 to 3 months. That could be a national average, but we use our air conditioning systems over 2,000 hours a year. And with that, there's more circulation, more runtime, and I would strongly recommend a 1-inch filter be inspected every 3 to 4 weeks during the season.
Okay.
And now we have had 4 and 5, 6-inch filters that are also extended. When I say extended, they look like a ruffled potato chip, but you wouldn't want to eat it.
Oh, no.
So we're picking up a lot of particulates. We're picking up all kinds of indoor contaminants that would be adverse to good health.
So it's very important that you change your filters as needed, with your recommendation to avoid bad things coming in the air in your home. I mean, you have a lot of different contaminants, whether it's bugs or smoke, people that smoke, or other things that if people have respiratory conditions that will inhibit
Absolutely.
their lifestyle.
Yes, and there's 3 classifications of indoor air pollutants, and I don't want to go too deep into all of these things now.
No, don't get deep. We're talking about the surface.
So the dust particles, the
Yes.
things that we see is when a house can't pass the white glove test, that type of thing. That's dust. But we also want to protect our respiratory system, our lungs, and we have filtration products that can do that. MERV 16 is the highest rated filter. We've been carrying Healthy Climate products for years and years. We offer purification systems. And so one must be very careful about the filtration they choose because of the effect on the system, the static pressure drop, and that type of, elements that are conducive to good filtration or hamper the system's operation.
So if you have not used your air conditioner, pretty much everybody uses it year round, I would say, for the most part. But what is a general rule of thumb for getting it checked out? What do you recommend?
Great question. We have some different situations here because of all the construction, of all the growth, all of the grid system failures, to where we have a lot of electrical problems that some other parts of the country do not experience. So what we want to do is make sure the electrical system is working properly. We are Class A licensed in the air conditioning industry, but also carry an electrical license. And what that means is if we find problems related to the air conditioning itself with controls, capacitors, or even breaker panels, those types of things we can address to make sure that the system's working properly. As a homeowner, though, we'd rather you not attempt any electrical repairs. One must be very careful. But what you can do, make sure that unit outside is being kept, clean. Right now, we're watching out for the ants. The ants are smart,
fire ants
smart
and all
builders.
That?
Yes. Air conditioning is an air conditioning system or a unit outside is a perfect hotel because they have moisture. It's elevated. It's protected. They have magnetism. All the things that draw an ant pile in. That can happen. I would check for that and maybe put out some poisons carefully to keep that from happening.
What about any kind of debris or leaves from a storm, let's say, that brings in? Will that clog up your air conditioner? Anything like that?
It can, but more so just normal operation when we have, cottonwood seed or different things floating in the air, dust, particulates. When you mow the grass, if you have someone mow your yard, shut the system off so it doesn't draw that
that's interesting.
Dust and dirt into the system. It may not be visible on the outside, but it can get trapped in the inner recesses of the condenser coil outside. So coils get dirty that way for sure. And just through normal operation, it's amazing how much dirt can be accumulated. And what that does is hampers heat transfer. And air conditioning is physics. We're trying to transfer heat.
So how often should people have their air conditioner looked at?
Great question there as well. I would say once a year for the air conditioning in the spring, and depending on the type of heat, probably once every 1 to 2 years on the heating system. If it's gas heat, it should be checked every year.
Okay.
So two inspections per year is the smartest plan to protect your investment.
Is it important to check on the attic and the insulation for your air conditioner?
Absolutely, because your house is a system. It's a living, breathing system. And heat transfer and infiltration changes that atmosphere, as do the occupants. So if we know what the building envelope looks like, is it insulated well? Is it tight construction? Or maybe not so? It affects your comfort. It affects your efficiency.
So it affects the air conditioner too, the insulation that you have in your house.
The insulation, the windows that you have, the vapor barriers, how you ventilate the house. When we turn on a clothes dryer, we may have 400 CFM, 400 cubic feet per minute going out of the house. We have to ask the question, how is that being replaced?
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back hearing more from Clyde and tips for your air conditioner, tips to stay cool. And this is Margie Taylor of Conroe Culture.
Thanks for checking out the podcast and YouTube channel on Conroe Culture. Don't forget, we're live on Lone Star Community Radio every Monday at noon. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. Want more information? Visit the show page on irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture for past shows and learn how to sponsor the show.
Hello, we are back on Conroe Culture with Lone Star Community Radio from downtown Conroe on this rainy Monday afternoon. Now, I believe there's a song, Rainy Days and Mondays, from long ago, probably the 70s. Well, it fits today. So I am here today with my second guest, Clyde Turanian with East Coast Air Conditioning and Heating, with 33 plus years experience serving the greater Conroe, Lake Conroe, Willis, Huntsville, Woodlands, and beyond areas, Spring area, wherever you need help staying cool and comfortable, because it's the humidity, right? It's not the heat.
It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Correct. So you were giving us some tips because this weekend starts it all, right, Clyde?
It does. We've been busy with residential and commercial, but especially in the area of dehumidification. And so with the temperatures rising, and probably I would say today is one of the last of what we would call the cool days with all the rain that we're having. There'll be some warm nights where instead of kicking the covers off at 3 in the morning, we have dehumidification systems that can help immensely. You can stay cool as a cucumber, and rainy days and Mondays don't have to let
don't have
you
to
down.
get you down. That's right. So I want to ask you a couple of questions. The first one that comes to my mind is people turn down their air to get. Is that a good idea to turn it down? Does that take it longer for the air conditioning to infiltrate and make it cooler? Is that energy effective? Should they be doing that?
Okay, let me help you with that. One is, while you're occupying the space, you want to stay at a setting that's comfortable for you. If your system is working properly, it should dehumidify, it should remove the sensible and latent heat, and comfort should not be a problem. It should be quiet, cool, clean, and really help your health in every aspect of your lifestyle. However, when you leave, instead of turning the system off, even if you don't have a Wi-Fi thermostat, if you choose to dial the temperature up in the heat of summer, only dial up 4 to 6 degrees, because that recovery time becomes inefficient. You want to dehumidify whether you're there or not.
And when you come home, should you turn it down really low? Is that a good idea? And then turn it back up? You're laughing at me.
Margie, thermostat wars have been going on a long time. I'm hot, I'm not. And then their children go and they get on a chair and adjust the thermostat. Well,
I get hot all the time.
Everyone has an internal thermostat, and so at different stages of life, it has an effect on it.
Sure.
Even sometimes medications and also respiratory concerns will sometimes require cooler temperatures. If you've ever been at the hospital, I hope not, but if you are, you notice how cold it is. That's because they're trying to dehumidify to keep germ and the widespread, spreading of germs down. And so it's a healthier climate and a healthier atmosphere. So what's the right thing to do when you come home? Don't radically turn it down. It turn down a couple degrees, try that, because comfort's usually achieved within a degree or two. Great question.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you also, how do you look for a qualified air conditioner provider? There's a lot of different air conditioner providers. So what makes one more qualified than another? I mean, I understand you have 33 plus experience, but if I were just trying to pick somebody, what are some things I would look for?
Okay, first of all, licensing. Just because a person has a driver's license doesn't mean they know how to drive. If we go out to the roads of Texas, we see that.
Correct.
And in our air conditioning industry, unfortunately, there's a lot of licensed, quote, contractors. They hold their license, over 50,000 in the state, and I'm not sure where that number is now. We're number 965. We have 2 air conditioning Class A license, actually. And so licensing is number one because they need to have insurance. Let's make sure they have enough insurance to cover in the event of a loss. Another factor is, do they or do they not use subcontractors? You need to visit with your air conditioning contractor. If you're going to replace a system, they should be experts at what they do. They should not be guessing at what systems should go in your home. They should be experts and do their homework like we have for many, many years. That includes manual J8 heat load calculations, understanding duct sizing. Ductwork is one of the weakest links in our comfort systems today. Many are drawing in non-conditioned, non-filtered air. Even with a clean filter, a house can be dusty. So what we want to do is make sure we address every area, like the equipment schedule. Make sure that matchup is correct. You wouldn't want to put the wrong transmission on a car. So in the air conditioning industry, there's been a big problem with people mismatching equipment. And when they do that, they don't really know what they have. They have kind of a Heinz 57 air conditioning unit that doesn't perform well.
So you also have some kind of a electrical point system as well that you do?
We do.
Tell me about that.
The electrical system, honestly, the grid system in our area is failing. Even with the thunderstorms of the last couple of days, that does create service calls for us. We're not looking for those kind of service calls, but it's a reality. There are protective devices that can be put on a system. We have time delays, we have surge protection, all of these can be installed. But tightening electrical connections, making sure breakers are properly sized. We mentioned the ants and different critters that can get into the air conditioning unit,
right.
And some lizards will get in and they won't have the guts to do it again. But what we want to do is literally. And so when we get to perform planned service, we're always looking at those electrical systems and how to protect against anything that might cause inconvenience to you.
Now, is it also important that your employees, your staff are accredited, trained? Do they have to have any kind of certifications?
I am so glad you brought that up because this is not Clyde's Air Conditioning. ESCO's been in business for a long time. Energy Alternative Service Company is the acronym. But if it wasn't for the ESCO team, we would not be able to serve you as effectively as we do, from our office staff to our certified technicians. Like I mentioned, we have 2 other Class A licensed team members on board, but it's constant training. It's not just for the required training, but
what is the required training?
For the Class A,
do they have to have continuing
education? Absolutely. We do that, but we're much more proactive. We bring in the manufacturer's reps. We bring in and we go to tech schools, of course, and we endorse that. And so we have what we call ESCO University. It's a great place to learn, earn, and grow. And we do that every week. We had training even this morning that we address some issues that are
very important so that people
Absolutely.
Don't hurt themselves or hurt others when they're going to residential or commercial to help out.
Yes, not to mention best practices. Safety is always a part of our meetings, absolutely. But right now, there's so many different systems, too many hands working on those systems can create a problem and a liability for everybody.
So if somebody wanted to follow up with you, Clyde, what are the best ways to do that?
Okay, well, if they want to call Margie, she could probably reach. Margie, you're doing great. Great job. We appreciate you. One is put your mind at ease, call ESCO. We have phone numbers, easy phone numbers to remember as well, but let me give you the website. That's escoair.com.
Right.
EASCOAIR.com. Put your mind at ease, call ESCO.
And you also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
ESCO Air Conditioning and Heating. Yeah. Yes, you do. So, and you're also very involved in the chambers, the 3 chambers again, Woodlands, Conroe, and Huntsville.
Absolutely.
And that's another way someone can find you. And I really think it's important for, small businesses, large businesses to engage in the community through their local chambers.
Absolutely.
I
I
mean,
think the
it's
chambers
key.
are a good link. And in fact, Taste Fest was a lot of fun.
It was
I
fun.
saw you there, yes. And I bought a few extra tickets, and no one was disappointed. And no one went away hungry. What a great event.
No, you don't go away hungry from those kind of events. Well, thank you, Clyde. I appreciate you coming on the show. And again, we will have a link to this conversation and my guest coming up and the one that was before with Conroe Football Boosters. It will be available tomorrow sometime, and it will be put on our Conroe Culture Facebook page and also Lone Star Community Radio, which is irlonestar.com. We are going to take another break and come back with two doctors from Roger Stein Chiropractic. I'm Margie Taylor.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
And we are back. I am Margie Taylor on Conroe Culture News Show from downtown Conroe with Lone Star Community Radio. And we've had so much fun today. We actually have two more guests. Who knew? So this is just such a popular talk show. Everybody wants to be on it. Just kidding. So I have my friends, Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee from Roger Stein. Oops, what happened? Roger Stein Chiropractic, going to talk to us a little bit about some things that they do in their office. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Brian McGee was on the show last month, I believe, and we were talking about your Patient Appreciation Day. And, you know, I'm so excited to see Dr. Stacy Rogers here because she is just so darn busy. She never has time. So I got a double treat today. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, you have been in practice for quite some time in Conroe, and your business, it just keeps moving along, and you're needing larger and larger and larger space. That is awesome.
Thank you.
This is like your third, fourth move.
Second.
Well, you keep enlarging, though. You
Yes.
need more space,
Yes.
even in the space you're at,
Yes.
wherever you are physically. And right now, you are located on 105, kind of by the Taco Bell, across from Conroe High School. But you have a lot of things that make your practice very special and unique in the community. So, can you tell me a little bit about what the Cox technique is?
The Cox technique is a great technique, and one of the beautiful things about the Cox technique is that it can really help people that have been told that they didn't have options to give people options. It's great for people that have disc problems. It's great for an athlete. It's good for people that are older. It's great for kids that have been told they have a curvature of the spine. It allows us another avenue to take care of people that we didn't previously have.
So it's with people that have some kind of condition or an accident that's related to their spine, and it avoids surgery. Is that correct?
Many times it can keep people from going to surgery.
So how does it work? What is it exactly?
Well, it's a unique instrument, and Dr. James Cox, who lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana, with Northwestern College of Chiropractic, developed the technique. It was actually the first federally funded study on chiropractic, so there's a tremendous amount of research behind the Cox technique. It is a unique instrument that is used. There's only a few of them in the state of Texas. We know that probably less than maybe 15, 20 tables in the whole state of Texas. So it's very unique to our office, and Dr. McGee and I are both trained in the Cox technique.
And it's so special that there aren't that many practicing chiropractors that use this in our immediate area. Is that correct?
There aren't. We are excited about that and very happy to be able to offer the Cox technique to our local community.
So, Dr. McGee, how long have you been involved with the practice?
I came to see Dr. Rogers. I came to work with Dr. Rogers back in October.
Yes.
This is my hometown, and it's just such a great environment for my family and Dr. Rogers. Her, like you said yourself, her practice has been growing and growing in this community, and she's embraced so many members of that community, and that makes me so proud to work at a place like that. So it's been really fun, and look forward to growing the right way. You know, we always talk about it, but if you take care of people and you do the right thing and you listen to them and meet them where they are, then you can provide the best care.
Right. And you're very community engaged. We were talking about chambers and things like that, and I know you're very involved in the Conroe Chamber, as Clyde, our previous guest, was, and you've been a board member too before,
Yes,
haven't you?
I've served 2 terms on the board and on the executive committee also.
So it's a give back. So it's not just about having your business here, but it's about really relating and engaging with the community. And you have some patients that have seen you for quite a while.
Since the inception of the clinic in 2004.
2004. So that's 13 years going on, and I'm sure you will continue to grow strong. We just mentioned that you just recently had the Patient Appreciation Day, and that was May the 6th. And your partner this year is CASA, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's part of giving back to the community. I'm a member of the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. So kids are a part of what we do. And not every kid has the best of circumstances. And CASA allows kids that don't have a voice to have a voice in our court system. So we were raising money that day for CASA and for kids, and we were very excited to raise $1,500 in just a couple of hours for CASA, and we're going to do that again all year long.
Well, and you have another event upcoming, and of course we'll talk about this again some more a little bit later, but you have your annual Ladies' Night Out coming forward in July.
Yes.
And it is a fabulous event, and it is always jam-packed with so many people in the room. They all want to participate in Roger Stein Ladies' Night Out. They do. It's the talk of the town.
It's fun.
Yes.
Fun.
You get how many vendors?
We have room for 24 this year.
24. Well, that's really good. And it's because you have such a good reputation of giving back in the community, and of course what you do as a chiropractor. You know, it's a treat to see you here because you're busy, because your first concern is your patients.
It's hard to
all
get
the
out.
time. All the time, your first concern
Just
is your
can't
patients.
leave.
Yes, from early until later in the evening. And I mean, I don't know, 6 days a week or so?
Yes, we're there
6
from
days
Monday
a week.
through Saturday at noon.
So let's go back to the Cox technique. So this has helped so many different people. How long have you been practicing this technique?
Dr. McGee has been practicing 12 years with the Cox
12
technique.
years?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And the thing is about it is people often think they have no other choices. Okay, and a lot of times we see patients that are reliant on medication. Their quality of life is just not where they want to be, and simple activities of daily living, such as putting on their shoes, picking up a grandchild. We have athletes, people that are really affected, and instead of saying, okay, well, don't do that, or here, have this pill, potion, or lotion, we try to decompress the spine in a non-surgical way in order for those nerves to function at their highest level. I mean, we've got patients that have fusions of the spine, severe degenerative conditions, and they all respond well with the, we employ the training and practice experience that we both share, and that's another unique component of our clinic. We take each case in together. So it's not like it's just Dr. McGee or just Dr. Rogers. It's, hey,
it's a mutual.
Yeah, and look at this. So
team effort.
Margie has this going on.
Right.
What can we do? And we develop the best plan we can for that patient to meet their goals.
And that's nice. That's very nice. And so if people don't understand what chiropractic care is, I mean, there used to be a whole bunch of crazy stuff talking about chiropractic care. but it's very holistic and it's hands-on, and you try to treat the whole body, and it starts with your nervous system and your back. Is that correct?
The nerves are housed in the spine, and if the nervous system can communicate properly, we have better health. So it is holistic. And when we sit down and look at a person, we're not just looking at where do they hurt. We're looking at their entire life. How does it affect their life? How does it affect their ability to function on a daily level? What do they want to do that they can't do or have been told that they can't do? We look at the whole person, not just there's your pain and we spot just pain. That's not holistic
Well,
care.
and you also do x-rays.
Do x-rays.
I mean,
Yes.
you do x-rays first before you treat.
Right
correct?
there in the clinic,
Yep.
yes.
Yes. So you have all of the equipment you
Yes.
need to make a good diagnosis of that individual patient and develop an individual plan to help them and maintain their health.
Yes.
And it isn't just a one-time visit. Generally, it's a period of different visits that get them to where they need to be.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am. And the best part about it is that we do treat the whole family. And I know we've alluded to it a couple of times today, but it's just amazing to see from infants to grandparents.
Even before infants.
That's
Yes.
right.
The
Sometimes we
prenatal,
treat 'em
right?
Right.
Before
I mean,
conception, even if we know someone's planning to get pregnant, then we get them on a program and a plan so that they have optimal, healthy pregnancy and delivery. And there are many generations. We have 4 generations. We had a lot of fun on Patient Appreciation Day, taking pictures of our families where we have 4 generations. So some of these kids that were in the picture weren't even thought
Part of the picture.
Part of the picture
Yes.
before we took the picture. So it's just so much fun to have that range and generations
absolutely.
to treat. And it makes you really committed to those people and their families because they trust us. They rely on us to take care of them. So when you have 4 generations, you better be on point. You better be committed to take care of that whole family.
No, it sounds great. And I know that by having the prenatal, seeing you prenatal, that can help with their labor and delivery, make it easier and more gentle.
Yes.
You know, because the longer you're in labor, the more complications you could have. Why are you laughing,
true.
Dr. McGee? What are you laughing about?
But chiropractic care through pregnancy has been known to reduce labor by 1/3. So if you're in labor for 16 hours, 8 is a lot better.
8 is a lot better. Having been through some of these things, I can testify to this. So does this help with like kidney stones or things like that too? Just curious. Chiropractic care.
I wouldn't tout it as saying that it helps
Okay.
with kidney stones.
Okay, we don't want to go down that road. So what else can you tell us in the next couple of minutes?
Trying to think what
Anything
else we have
else?
coming up. We have a kids' night tomorrow night.
Kids
Oh,
night tomorrow
okay.
night. We're excited about that. I think we have over 70 kids on the books for wellness.
And tell
care
me
tomorrow
about
night.
Kids Night. What do you do on Kids Night?
Treat those families, make it affordable for all of the family to come in, get care. We always have a party.
And what time is it?
It's from 4 to 7.
4 to 7.
4 to
and
7.
do they need to call ahead?
That would be great. Yes.
Okay.
And it's red, white, and blue night.
It's red, white, and blue night.
Yes,
It's
so-
not pajama day or any of those other things that I know
We
you've
do
been known
have
to
those,
have.
yes.
I know you do. So wear your red, white, and blue and be patriotic as we go towards Memorial Day weekend. So you have a Facebook page.
Yes.
And it's Roger Stein Chiropractic, and the same for your webpage, rogersteinchiropractic.com, and your phone number.
936-441-9990.
How easy is that? So thank you, Dr. Rogers, Dr. McGee, for coming on the show, telling us about chiropractic care, and it is preventive too,
Yes.
for the whole entire family, starting with before you're even thought about, all the way through the ages, and especially if you're thinking about needing some kind of surgical procedure on your back,
Come talk to us.
to you
Come
first.
talk to us.
Okay, I'm Margie Taylor. This is Conroe Culture. Thanks for listening, and we will be with you next Monday.
You're listening to Conroe Culture on FM 104.5 and 106.1 with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR, live streaming on irlonestar.com every Monday at noon. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter via Conroe Culture.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.